sucker punch instead.
Do it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to LongWalker's Live. She called me lucky. Yes, I am. All right, so tonight we're going over all things woke again. Of course, you know, we've got some stuff we got to catch up on, and then other stuff that, like, Patriot Voice, or however you say her name. She did one about the statue that's in New York.
Really quick, there's a couple of things that at least one thing I wanted to talk about that was from today.
And but the statue's from New York, right?
Well, they're all over the world right now. We're all over the United States, but the main one, the first one, was up in New York.
Yeah.
But they have several others now, and they all look just as dumpy as that one.
It's like, you know, let's just, I mean, why don't they just do a statue of McDonald's then and put it up somewhere? I mean, that's what they're...
Somebody said too, like, it looks like everybody in line waiting at McDonald's.
Yeah. Not a problem. Never's trying to find the stuff she wants to talk about.
First of all, what I wanted to talk about was today they hung a giant ass trans flag on El Capitan.
Yeah.
Which is like a natural monument. And they hang a trans flag on it.
Yeah, things are getting way out of control still. I mean, they're trying to keep things from slipping away from them because they're starting to. That's part of the problem.
See, some of these things, this is what I have for you, like for next week if I can get it put together.
Yeah, that one I remember you showing me that one.
This is Haley says when she used to be a man, she wouldn't get any attention, but now she's a woman and men can't stop looking at her.
I wonder why. Where the hell is that?
Then of course there was these people that I showed you.
Yes.
So there's some stuff that I have that's like fresh. I'm looking for the article that has to do with what you're talking about, though.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, Sunday is Wolf Boy's 15th birthday, so go over to Wolf Boy Productions and leave him a happy birthday. We got a busy week, you know. On Saturday he'll be live streaming his party, so tune in to Wolf Boy Productions to see that.
And if you want to donate, go to his Patreon, or I can set up like a little donation PayPal thing.
Yep.
And if you want to donate to his birthday fund,
let us know.
That'll help him get his Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, that's what he's trying for.
And I think we've got like $250 saved.
I was gonna say already, you have quite a bit.
Okay, let's see.
What is it, like 500?
It's 500.
And also, we're on a list, and we have to wait to be called in order to be able to get it. You can't just get one of the Nintendo Switch 2s.
So these are the other
yeah.
These are the other ones
Let's
that were put around.
It shows up. Those statues.
Yeah. So they put them all around. I guess it is around the world. And I thought I got this.
Yeah, let's go to other countries with it and be like, this is how American women are.
It says, but why are they in all mundane street clothes and positions? Where are the stylish shoots and Sunday bests and absolutely gorgeous cultural fashion? Black women have worked so hard to accomplish so much, but this is what they get when finally being immortalized in bronze, frumpy clothes, and looking like they're waiting to check out. And they said, because this is us. We are strong, whether in suitable Sunday best or just casual. These statues are of us. We are every day of the week, after work, on a Saturday, or Sunday after church, relaxed.
Yes.
It could be a way of honoring the everyday sister, the black women who are not celebrities, who may not be Beyonce's or the Cosby family kind, but who still embody the spirit of black women and indeed black people, like my mother, who is a working class woman, but always a pillar of strength and compassion.
There it is again.
But you would still think that they'd want to be at least represented
better,
glorified, you know?
There it is again. That, you know, they're working class and you want to be seen as that. And it's like, that's
Do you really,
not.
Though? Even the Statue of Liberty, for all the grungy stuff that like the gritty stuff that she represents, is still in like a Grecian outfit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like with a crown, you know?
Exactly.
this is just ugly to me. I don't know, but we'll find out what other people are saying. But this is what I found on it, and I don't know.
That's very good. Thank you for getting that for us.
Yeah, here's one more. Because it celebrates normal black women, clothes don't make us. That's superficial. It's beautiful. It makes a loud statement. The problem is we shouldn't conform to what white America says we should look like. Bravo, the artist. And then somebody responded to that and said, funny, but not one white person said anything about the clothes. It's y'all complaining about y'all.
Y'all.
I think that it would have been really nice to have at least simple dresses, kind of like what that lady wears, her Patriot voice, the stuff that she wears when she goes out and stuff. I mean, at least something like that, I don't know. You're right. It just looks like they're in line to check out at Walmart or at McDonald's waiting to talk to a manager,
It's stupid. Oh, so they're Karens now.
Yes. Although, according to Matt Walsh, only white people can be Karens.
No, it's not true.
I don't know where you're getting that from. All right.
Yes, Matt Walsh, on that one, you are wrong, that video.
There's a couple lately.
Yeah. But we agree with him on most.
Like 80%.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with, for sure, but not in that and a couple other things.
All right, so we got a Simp Saver that we're heading on to. We've got a Mike versus the World, which is like a day old or something. 2 days old, I think. He didn't have any new ones from today. And then we have some of the other ones that we're going to go on to, and I think you'll enjoy them. As much as you can, enjoy woke stuff. So let's get this going.
Your man hit him twice.
Oh, it's called congratulations. You played yourself.
She literally hit him twice in public in front of everyone and just thought nothing was going to happen. Well, she did that to the wrong guy because, there's people in the comments saying, why did he do what he did? Like, did these people not see what happened before he even did that? You shouldn't put your hands on anyone. But if you do, and then that person retaliates, we're not going to feel sorry for you. This guy just gave her a taste of her own medicine.
My fiance, Ryan, is just, he wants me to sign a prenup. We're supposed to get married in 6 months. And now he's coming to me saying that he wants me to sign a prenup. And I just don't, I don't understand where this is coming from. I'm irritated. I don't understand.
Okay, let me stop you there. Honey, stop. Let me just stop you there. Yeah, see, you've upset our dog. See what you did there? So this is...
Why are they having their relationship debates on a radio station?
You've seen what happened to my family. My parents got divorced just recently, and it has ruined our family. My siblings.
We're not your parents.
Yeah, but you know what? We come from a lot of money. It's not what... are you saying you only love me for my money? Is that why you don't want to have a prenup? Because now you're starting to make me mad.
You're saying that.
Right, hold on. But Courtney, is there an exact reason why you wouldn't want to sign it?
Because it's like setting us up to fail. It's him expecting us to get a divorce.
Ryan, do you think?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love this one because the women that are like, oh, it's just setting us up for failure. If I sign this, it's no. It shows exactly what this woman wanted. It's showing that the woman wanted to go in, get a divorce, and take all the man's money. Because if it was the other way around and it was a woman working, then she'd be demanding it, and the guy wouldn't even bat an eyelash at it. Like, okay. But since it's he bought it out of nowhere, and I don't understand where it's coming from. Well, because obviously he just said it. His parents got a divorce, and he's worried. Yeah.
You think you're going to get divorced, Ron? Do you think you're going into this thing thinking it's going to fail?
No, but everybody who knows me knows that I'm very money conscientious. You got to protect your assets in case it ever does happen. It's just a smart thing to do. It's not
you can't blame this man for taking precautions. When he said he's come from money, it could be in the millions, who knows? But you got to be careful out there because 70 to 80% of marriages, end in divorce or initiated by women for a reason. And we know it's the Cash Wong Ching.
Tell them to bring me my money.
How much income will your future husband make?
For one thing, I don't want to get married, just for the record. I mean, I want kids, but I'm not saying that I necessarily have to be married to have kids.
You just want to be an incubator?
Because I don't think that necessarily I'm going to be madly in love with the person that I decide to have kids with. I think that's
that's a scarlet letter.
I'm just not somebody that's deeply emotional. I can't.
Yeah, I think we know that. You do an OF for $4.99. That ability to love and be compassionate and be loyal to one person's out the window, mate. That went out the window for less than a large Big Mac meal.
It's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking good.
If a man has a smaller car, like a little Porsche or something, I swear to God, a man with a Porsche asked me on a date and I said no because I was like, there's no way you're not gay. You're gay for sure.
Okay, what about an old, classic Porsche? It's older.
OF detected, opinion rejected.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
You have a situation. Because why do you want a girlfriend nowadays?
What the fuck was up?
Who's that? The homegirl, what's up? She be doing that, bro. Hey, come on. Hey, get on your knees and do it again. What's that voice?
That's my voice whenever I'm drunk. Okay. That's my voice.
Hey, but what about that hot tour?
What do you mean?
You don't know that hot tour?
No, ¿qué es eso?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Hot tour.
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know what the hell that was, but all I'm hearing is a flipping seagull on crack.
Crack is cheap.
Just starting to piss me the fuck off with this, how you want a bad bitch, but you don't want her to do bad bitch activities. No, I do want a bad bitch, and I do want her to do bad bitch activities, but you're trying to do hoe shit. Yeah, you trying to do hoe shit, and you trying to manipulate me like I don't know what hoe is.
Yeah.
If you want to be single, just say that. But you're not about to play in my face, though, like I'm trying to be insecure or something, like I'm being insecure. You don't even know what the word insecure means. Stop saying that goofy. Y'all be talking about, you be insecure, I'm not insecure. An insecure man is going to let you walk all over him.
Yep.
Because he's scared of losing you. He's scared of saying the wrong thing and losing you. I don't give a fuck about losing you, bitch. I'm going to say what the fuck it is. If you do something to me, bitch, you're out of here. This ain't baseball. But you don't get 3 strikes. But you get 1. You do one thing to me, you're out of here. I don't give a fuck about none of that. And stop enabling these bitches. Y'all niggas clowns, for real though.
Yeah, and it's like girls who want to be in a relationship but go out every weekend with their single friends. You shouldn't, you can't tell a woman what she can and can't do. If you say, look, I'm not really cool with it, but you do you, just lay it there. If she decides to go and disrespect you like that, then she's going to come back and you ain't going to be there. You got to keep it moving, because I've heard guys be labeled insecure for the craziest things, like not paying for a date, or like what I just said about not being cool with her going out in a skimpy skirt to the club. Yeah. Seems like every guy's insecure to girls these days.
Moved 15 hours from home, completely uprooted my life to come live with a boy. My mistake, I know. And last night, a month into living together, he tells me that he's still in love with another girl and is choosing to pursue that. I want to handle it with grace. I want to be okay with it, but it really hurts my heart.
You're going to have to remove those rose-colored glasses that you're seeing him out of, because he's not a good man. He knew before he allowed you to move, before he encouraged you to move 15 hours away from your family, your friends, your support system, that he was having doubts about the relationship.
That's wild.
He knew that he was still considering that other woman. This didn't just happen. As long as you see him as a good guy, you let him off the hook, because good guys don't waste other people's time. Good guys don't lie about how they're feeling. Good guys don't allow somebody to only be 4 weeks into moving to a new city and state to be like, you know what? This isn't working. If he tries it out with her and realizes that it doesn't work, and he realizes that the grass isn't greener on the other side, he's going to come crawling back, begging for a second chance. But you never let a man tell you he doesn't want you more than once. So when he leaves, don't just close the door, nail it shut. You deserve a man who is sure about you, a man who is delicate and careful with your heart. He was negligent. That proves to you that he did not deserve you. Not now.
Yeah, facts. That guy's a scumbag for doing that. This happened to a good friend of mine the other way around. He was with this girl. She lived abroad. He left his business. He built up a really good business here, left that, went to go and live with her back where she was from. 2 weeks they were there. He catches her cheating. Whole life ruined. You know, he sacrificed everything to be with her. Like I say, his business, his family, everything.
Yeah, and the sad part with all of this is that it happens way too much. There is too much of this cheating, of normalizing it. It's never gonna stop if we don't stop normalizing. You know, if we don't step away from normalization of cheating.
And it's like, it's just so common. It's like, and it started with the whole casual relationships, sex sort of thing, you know, and oh, everybody does it. This is just how things are in the 21st century. Polyamory, all of that stuff, all that degenerate stuff, all leads back into cheating. I don't care even if they say it's consenting or open or whatever. It's just not how it's supposed to be. It's like, even on a base level, if we're supposed to be like non-monogamous, we've been called to a higher state of being.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in nature that humans don't participate in. We don't eat our own shit. You know, it's like we don't. There's pedophilia in nature. Yeah. There's rape in nature, and it's like that's not okay.
No, so, and we know that that's bad.
Right. So why this?
Exactly.
You know, why is this okay? Because they're like, oh, it's like every other animal.
Yeah, we got to give in and we got to do our base things, and it's like, no, it's like we need to step up and be the higher beings that we're called to be.
Yeah, I mean, God damn it, whether it was the gods or science, they gave us a more productive pineal gland. It's like, why do you want to forsake that just to roll around in the mud on your base instinct? You know,
that's exactly right.
I mean, you should always be in tune with your instincts and in tune with your natural self, but listen to that higher. Why do we have consciousness?
Exactly.
Why do they feel like they have to defend their way of life if it is so natural? You wouldn't defend it, you would just do it, right?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly right.
Like that's your conscience telling you that something is wrong.
It's like, hey,
why do we have that? You know?
That's exactly right. I mean, couldn't have said it better. These people just need to wake up and stop with this normalization of it all.
I mean, it started in the 60s with the whole free love.
I know, that's what started it, and then it's like, oh, well, you know, we just got to be with it, and it's natural, let's just everybody get together.
And look at what it caused. It caused a lot of
it caused havoc. Yes.
It caused a lot of fatherlessness crisis.
Yep.
You know, it caused a lot of...
and it's funny because the more that it happens, the worse it gets. You know, you got a couple families that break up, which leads to about 6 to 8 more families breaking up. And it's this, you know, web that just keeps going.
Like, people are so quick to, oh, it's uncomfortable for me, so I'm just going to go do something else.
Yeah.
I want to be happy.
You know, it brought on this boss bee mentality. And it's like, oh, well, I'm the only one that I have, so I have to do this. No. You had the choice to stay with who you were with.
And about every 30 years, you'll see like another wave of this sort of
yes,
or you know, free thinking or whatever. And it's like that's great, but look back for thousands of years and how things were done and how we progressed at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I fully agree.
Thing. 2 weeks of him living there, she's cheating on him. Man.
It's an evil world we live in.
So this full-grown man right here reportedly hid under his bed in sheer terror while armed men kidnapped his wife and his 5-year-old daughter. I'm not going to victim shame. I'm not going to victim. He's a victim too. He's a victim. What the fuck? You're going to have to kill.
All right, sorry, I gotta pause it. Nefer was asking what happened. This guy was such a coward that he hid under his bed while somebody kidnapped his wife and his 5-year-old.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Either he was a coward or he had something to do with it.
I mean, that's a very big possibility too. That's happened several times. You know, the guy was in on it, and that's why, you know, he couldn't be seen. But I mean, for a man not to have the balls and ability to stand up and say, "You will not touch them."
Right. Yeah, either it was planned or
He's a beta.
It's worse than that.
So I mean, yeah, no, that's crap.
Kill me, bro. You ain't coming to my house and taking nobody. Okay, so understand, as a husband and a father, I have a lot of jobs, but the number one job is to protect my wife and kids.
Yeah.
Coming to my house trying to take somebody, either you're going to be on a t-shirt or I'm going to be on a t-shirt. Wait, I already have t-shirts with me on them, so I guess it's your turn.
I know there's a lot of people giving this guy stick, saying like, oh, he's this, he's that. But we all have it built in us, fight or flight. This guy was flight. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. I know everyone's saying he's this, he's that, he's a scumbag. Like I said, fight or flight. And yeah, I can't relate to that. If someone, tried to come into my house and bring harm to anyone, you know, my family, loved ones, it'll be the last you see of me. One of us is going down.
Can we bring back catcalling? Not specifically but flirting. Men don't do it anymore.
Bring back catcalling. I thought women didn't want that anymore.
Because they've been told not to. It's what everybody wanted.
And I noticed this because they don't walk up to bars and they don't flirt, like at the gym, anywhere. Men don't walk up to anyone anywhere.
Because they go to the bars to get drunk and they go to the gym to get fit. They don't go to either for a restraining order.
But they don't even catcall.
This is good news, though. No?
Like the creepy men who used to catcall don't even do that anymore.
It goes to show that even when the creepy guys have stopped doing it, you know it's not all men because people are still listening, even when they're creepy.
Men have gotten afraid to talk to women.
Yep.
Not saying I need a man to catcall me.
Of course you're not saying that. It's not like you've made a whole video about it.
But a confidence boost every once in a while won't do me any harm.
So if we was to catcall her to boost her ego, what do we get in return?
Let me get offended by you catcalling me.
Yeah, the guy's completely right. People don't want to be catcalling and catching a restraining order or a video of them going viral, calling them a creep, and all the list of things we see in here. Because I don't really know any woman who thought catcalling was cool or a nice thing. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. You can't go back on it now.
It's most likely to take you home tonight. I mean, I know this answer already. I know you guys want to take me home tonight, and that's fine.
Who said that?
How you know they all want to take you on tonight?
Because I exist.
Wow.
Are you gonna take me on a date tomorrow? Will you take me on a date tomorrow?
Nunca.
What?
He said nunca.
Will you take me on a date tomorrow? Will you take me on a date tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Will you take me on a date tomorrow?
Wait, hold on, baby. What an idiot. Oh, what a loser.
She was really saying out loud what a lot of women think. Yeah, they believe that they can get any man purely on the fact they exist and they can get what they want. I'm just glad those guys said no and made it look like a donut instead of simping for her, which a lot of guys would.
So we are doing a protest, handing out flyers, and praying in reparation.
Okay.
Gender ideology.
You guys are loud.
Ideology.
Caring about queer kids saves lives.
Why do they always mention kids, man? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'll take a flyer, man.
That's us. Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah,
yes,
yes,
yes. So I'm encouraged when I see your videos out there and you guys are getting into.
You can take one look at this man and know he agrees with what we're saying.
And you want to say in the pit there, right in the lion's den.
Yes, sir.
You guys stand strong. Yeah.
Thank you
So I really appreciate it. I just want to stop by and just encourage you.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Keep up the good work, young man. So
You guys are wrong.
Renaissance? Renaissance? Okay, you lost your train of thought. Yeah, I did. Gender? Gender is a social idolatry. Based off of
What?
It's a social thing.
A social thing?
It's not rooted in anything. So it's not reality. Biology is. And people. Biology is, yes, there is only male and female. That's right.
Yeah, I love your signs. They're amazing. It's very bold, and a lot of people want to play it safe, you know. So it's great to see you guys just be open about it, be loud about it. It seems like you're getting a lot of support from a lot of different people, so that's really excellent.
So in the LGBT agenda, they condone that kind of behavior. Free love. So like I was just saying, love is love.
Whoa!
That's not very tolerant of me. This is very tolerant
So-
of you.
so
I think that if you're going to be hypocritical,
because you don't agree with us.
Why do these people all look the same and act the same? They can never handle a sophisticated adult conversation. They can't deal with other people having a different opinion. I knew she was going to do something stupid.
Because you don't agree with me.
That allows you to enact violence against us, like what you just did. We're trying to have a civil discussion, conversation, and then you just act childish.
You were just talking about love, and this is what you show what love is.
That's not love.
This is your proof.
And I think this is about you being hateful. May I
There's nothing
finish?
hateful about what we're doing.
Yeah. I think
There's
that.
nothing hateful about what we're doing.
Pardon, may I finish my thought?
We wouldn't do this. We would do this every day of our lives.
Hey, may I finish my thought?
Well,
I think that.
after you throw your coffee at us, I don't think you really
That
want
was
to have a
key,
conversation.
dog.
Keep Marquette Catholic. Reject gender ideology.
This man walked up to us with a fencing mask on and a flag around
What
his
the
neck,
hell?
holding a bunch of pride flags. Now he's standing off to the side, trying.
Look at this guy. Do you really think this is someone who's happy and who thinks about day-to-day life, what they're going to do?
to hand him out to people.
We're here to protect children's innocence in schools and library from sexualization, and then you appear to be against what we're trying to do. So why is it so important for the LGBT movement to have access to children? He doesn't seem to mind.
Do you have any children of your own, sir?
Does it matter?
Do you have access to children as well?
If another person's child
What kind of answer is that to what he said?
is being abused, should
Okay,
I care
so now
about
we've
it, or
clarified,
should I
yeah.
not care about it?
You're allowed to care about whatever you want to care about.
About
Okay.
children being abused.
Yeah, if you want to care about racism, you can care about racism.
All right, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Our poor child is having issues too, so he might say, scream for a minute. Okay. And also, I just wanted to say, you notice that everything that these people say is the same. It's like, oh, well, you're allowed to care about that. You're allowed to care about that because they're trying to say that they care. Should I care if another kid is being abused? I mean, even if I don't have any, I should still care if I see one being abused.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, well, you're allowed to care about whatever you want to care about. And it's always the same with that. And then they'll go, that's why we care about this. And
Yeah, but the shit that they care about is like, usually it's talking about like, I don't know what this was about, like trans stuff, and it's like, oh my god, they're killing themselves, and it's very, very misinformed. A lot of the stuff that they care about.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we care about the ideology that's put behind it and the kind of damage it's doing to all of the youth.
Exactly. And it's like, so many of them, they're like, oh, well, this one would have offed himself if, he didn't get this care. But it's like, we're finding out now, like when this was going on, we did not have the studies to know that what gets done is even worse.
Right.
There's so many that they want to go back and they can't.
Right.
So now they're stuck with this in-between state.
Right.
And it's terrible. I mean,
It doesn't help.
no.
So why is it so important for the LGBT movement to have access to children?
I don't believe it is.
Then why are you against protecting children's innocence?
I'm not
Against sexualization.
I'm not against
Why are you here against us?
I'm not here against
Are you here against our campaign?
I'm here against the fundamental belief of your campaign.
They never act normal, do they? Never.
Contradicts basic biology. Innocence is a God-given right.
It makes no sense to me. Like, and these people always act the same. I say that every time. You know, throwing hot drinks on people, being abusive, attacking people. It's always the same stuff. But they go to kids, teaching them about how to be a boy and a girl, right? You can be either one. But then they say there's not two genders, even though they teach kids that there's two and you can be which anyone you want. Then they say that it's not a male and a female who can reproduce. Then they'll go to kids and teach kids that reproducing is from a male and a female. You can be either one. Yeah, it's I don't really know what the hell they're talking about. I don't think they know what they're talking about, for that matter. Starbucks baristas are melting down over a new dress code that requires uniforms.
We just demand that Starbucks follow the law. They don't have the right to.
What's with all the badges? Are they?
All right, now we're good.
So today, Guru and I started watching Zootopia. Do you remember Zootopia?
Yes.
It kind of has some ideologies and stuff that I missed the first time that I watched it because it wasn't on my radar. But it kind of throws into the whole feminist thing. Oh, you know, the bunny can be a cop, even though that and they make her the meter maid and all this, and she wants to be more. Okay, so that's kind of okay. But then we started listening to the shit she was saying, and I don't know if you remember that little fennec fox that was actually an adult, but they was pretending to be the other fox's baby, and it was like there's like a little elephant, and she's like, just know, little guy, that if you want to be an elephant, you can be an elephant. You can be anything you want to be here.
Wow.
But into the entire time, the fox keeps throwing it back in her face, going, you know, when shit goes wrong, he's like, oh, but you can be whatever you want to be, right? You can be whatever you want to be, right? You know, that doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want to do about it, you know? So it kind of goes on both sides, like showing out basic biology does matter, but
yeah, definitely.
But I do believe that was a Disney movie. It was on a Disney Channel, but I don't know if it was actually a Disney movie.
I think it is.
I think it is. So it's like, that features. But when they're talking about that, it's like, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yep.
Well.
Exactly right. I know, right?
Well, that sucked. Life is
all right. Are you good on talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
They donut badges.
Overthrow the National Labor Relations Act. They're imperiling every civil right that we have, not just as workers, as union workers, but that's the framework that all of our rights are under. So all of our rights are in danger, and the only thing we can rely on is each other and taking direct action.
What's the big issue of wearing uniform? Just sticking on a Starbucks t-shirt. What's the issue with that?
Yeah, we're back. Perfect. Colin?
Exactly what Jacob said.
Perfect.
It's up to us to stand up for our rights and for our workplace.
Love it.
What?
Thank you, guys. No contract.
All I'm seeing here is a bunch of people who have a lot of free time. A hell of a lot of free time, because anyone with a normal life ain't got time to be complaining and doing this shit.
Here are six words that you use every day that have racist origins. Although these words might seem harmless, they are rooted in a long history of oppression and racism in the U.S. Number 1, nitpicky. This refers to enslaved people were forced to pick nits or lice out of other people's hair. It was a very dehumanizing task. Number 2, gyp. This is actually related to the word gypsy, which is a slur for Romani people. Number 3, no can do. This was originally a sentence or term used to mock Asian Americans, primarily Chinese immigrants, to make fun of their accent. Number 3, uppity. This was a term used to describe Black people who were typically seen as too confident, and it was definitely an insult that preceded violence against Black people. Number 4, the peanut gallery. This term refers to in segregated theaters when Black people had to sit in the worst, cheapest seats in the house. And finally, we have the term grandfathered in, which is in reference to when Black people were forced to take literacy tests in order to vote, aka a form of voter suppression. White people who had been grandfathered in the right to vote did not have to take these tests. So if you're a white person, please stop using these things.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, in the dictionary, the word stupid, they should stick this donut right there. Because that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure she's the same donut we saw in another video saying good morning is racist. You're not allowed to say that anymore. How do these people live with this mindset? Surely it's not an ideal way to live.
I'm like a huge feminist. I love all women. I think we're all equal and we're so strong and we should all stand together.
Well, what about conservative women?
Oh no, not them.
Do Black Lives Matter?
Oh my gosh, well, of course Black Lives Matter, unless it's an unborn Black baby, a Black cop, or a Black conservative. We don't stand with them. If I want an abortion, I should be allowed to get one. My body, my choice.
What about the mask and vaccine mandates?
Well, it doesn't apply to that.
What is the biggest problem facing America?
The biggest problem is definitely guns. I mean,
so Luigi Mangione.
Oh, no, that wasn't his fault. He's not guilty at all.
Yeah, she has a good point. And a lot of these people say that they're loving and compassionate of everyone and all about equality. And as soon as you mention about men and what they're doing, they all of a sudden change their tone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Simp Saver Sam. You know, big shout out to him at Simp Saver Sam because, you know, we get a lot of content from him. He does great work. He's over to where? The UK, yes. You know, we've been reviewing his stuff for a while, and he always has some pretty good videos. So now let's go on to Clown World, another one of our big ones that we go over.
Hey mates, my name is Dustin. I am non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. And today we're going to be talking about neopronouns and how to use them. First things first, this is for if you're talking about a third person that's not there for the conversation, but you're referring to them, you're expecting to meet them somewhere, and you don't know who they are, you don't know what their pronouns are, you don't know anything about them, you've never been told this information. So the default that we use in English is they, them. And that is if you don't know or if their pronouns are they, them like mine. I will be giving you examples of how to use neopronouns. And for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to be making up a fictional person by the name of Rock, someone that is gender non-conforming. And I will introduce them, tell you what their pronouns are, and use those pronouns in a few sentences. So the first neopronoun we're going to talk about are its pronouns. This is my friend Rock. It uses its pronouns. It is a very nice person who always makes time for its friends. It loves movies, and it will be seeing the new movie tonight. It has always loved movies its entire life. I highly recommend you go over and talk to it.
Get a haircut, hippie.
So that first clip we just saw went on for another 2 minutes, and it was just that slightly husky fella talking about Z, zipper, zit, neopronouns. However, I do know one person that likes to refer to others using its pronouns.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
And if my memory serves me correctly, Buffalo Bill is a member of the rainbow community. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy Clown World update for you guys today. And as usual, we have no time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly who this fella is or what he identifies as, but he posted this photo of himself wearing a sundress and high heels. The caption says, "Sending good vibes." Now, I don't know about you guys, but the kind of vibes I'm getting from this fella are not good.
It puts the dress in the drawer and throws the store.
All right, we're going to keep it moving with Harry Potter's sister, Harriet Potter, who says if Carmelo Harris won the election, she planned on growing her business and starting a family. However, since the evil orange man won the election, now she just goes to protests and demands that a violent illegal alien gang member who was deported be brought back to the United States. Roll it.
If Kamala had been elected, I was going to try to open a bookstore this year. I was going to think about having a kid this year. I was going to grow my writing business this year. And instead, I spent yesterday afternoon at a meeting where we were talking about how to protect people who are being disappeared off the streets of our communities. And I'm spending this afternoon going downtown and just holding up a sign demanding that Abrigo Garcia be brought home. I will never not be angry at the people who did this to us.
Because she's an idiot or she's insane.
Now, this next clip is a perfect example of why you should never hire anybody that puts their pronouns on their resume, especially they-them pronouns. Now, apparently, Starbucks employees are rising up in protest all over the country because their bosses want to implement a dress code. Now, you'll see here the ringleader is this slightly rotund young lady with the neck beard. Roll it.
To do is allow partners to be themselves or whatever that PR that they want to push. I don't understand how that's in good faith of letting us express ourselves. I don't understand how that's supposed to embody craft and culture and bring us back to that coffee house kind of vibe that Starbucks is asking for, because for some reason you all can't understand how to schedule more people in a zone. You can't understand that people are taking all away, and that you can't understand that it's not appropriate to tell someone that they are okay, that they should be doing the work of 4 people. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry. How often do I see you actually on the floor and actually helping instead of going against things that help us? When your partners are saying, I need you, I need help. Sorry, we're busy. I'm doing admin. Sorry.
This is not a legal action that Starbucks is taking by unilaterally deciding what the dress code is going to be and then creating this so-called feedback session where the dress code is already created and we're just expected to let off some steam and still accept it. This isn't a feedback.
So we're asking that any of these partners feel manipulated by all of you all who are also continuing to push this agenda on us.
I am the bearded lady. Are you one of the freaks?
And next up, we have this young lady who says we have to have the gayest summer ever to fight back against everything that's happening. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly what she's talking about, but I'm assuming it has something to do with President Trump. Roll it.
You have to have the gayest summer ever to fight back against everything that's happening right now. You got to wear more leather. You got to wear more sequins, more glitter. You got to wear more eye sparkles. Should be poppers out of vending machines. There should be top surgery at the free clinic. Everyone's required to get 7 new tattoos every month. Shave your eyebrow. Shave a slit in it. Shave 4 slits in it. Have an identity crisis. Go to therapy. Go platinum blonde. Dye your eyebrows platinum blonde. Your alarm clock in the morning should be Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. You listen to Pink Pony Club at night to fall asleep. Place the headlights on your car with disco balls. No more buying clothes, only thrifting. Maybe change your name. Try a gardening tool or a kitchen utensil. How about knife? Start a polycule with all your best friends. Explain to your mom what a polycule is. You better be so freaking gay this summer. You better be so gay.
I am not gay.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Oh, look, a whale watching expedition featuring Al Weezy. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by Patty Howen, Maxwell Green, and Greg Romeo. Patty, Maxwell, and Greg, thank you all so much for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. And I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mentions, NDH Nate Dogg and Bakota58 for each leaving a super thanks on the last video. So NDH Nate Dogg and Bakota58, thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. So once again, today's video sponsors are Patty Howen, Maxwell Green, and Greg Romeo, with the honorable mentions going to NDH Nate Dogg and Bakota58. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough of Al Weezy for one day. Get this off the screen, please. Ugh.
Oh my God, look at that whale.
These next couple of clips are going to be about white privilege and white supremacy. These people are fucking delusional. Roll it.
Where would white people be without white privilege and white supremacy? They did not earn their power through meritocracy. They earned it through terrorism and brutality.
That's racist. And next up, we have this pink-haired young lady who is just riddled with white guilt. Roll it.
White folks, you might be upholding white supremacy without even knowing it. Let's break it down. Do you experience perfectionism?
Okay. Never just caught up with something and wants to.
So that lady was saying, where would you be without white privilege? And it came from brutality and violence, right?
Yes.
So when I was talking about the plantation burning down and everybody just celebrating and everything, found some interesting information. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully it's on here. It doesn't look like it is.
And honestly, that really sucks. I mean, I cannot believe the Nottoway.
I know, it's like there's been bad stuff that's happened on every square inch of this planet.
Yes.
And so it's like it just to have, I don't know. All the architecture and history is gone with that.
Well, and what gets me on that is all these black people, they're like, oh, thank heaven it burned down, oh, this is karma. And the owner's like, no, I'm going to rebuild. And they're like laughing, going, well, who do you have to do it?
Oh, contractors.
And it's like, there's a lot of contractors out there that would be happy to do it.
It's a different time and era.
Yeah. And it's like so much for, they're thinking we're still within the slave ways.
I was going to say, you think that, this was like 300 years ago,
yes.
Right? At least. About 300 years ago. But, god damn it must be on the other one, the one that you have up there. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, I screenshotted a bunch of stuff, and I'm probably going to do a video about it. But it's talking about the atrocities and the brutality that happened against the Arab people in the 1960s from what? Black Africans, right?
Yes.
And so you're talking about white people getting to where they've gotten through violence and privilege and everything. I have a picture of the bodies that were laid out from this.
God.
There was rape, there was murder, there was torture. They burned people alive. They cut off hands. They cut off heads. They did horrible things to children. I can't remember why. It was Zanzibar. It was the massacre of Zanzibar, and that was just in the 1960s. This shit that they're talking about happened 300 years ago. This was just like, what, 60 years ago?
Yeah.
60 years ago, something within many people's lifetimes, not even. And
they're not talking about it.
No, but that was brutal, and that was done by Black Africans.
Exactly. That's...
Let's not talk about the blood diamond trade, where Black Africans are brutal as hell to other Black Africans.
I know, they will literally attack each other and kill each other over these diamonds.
And again, children.
Yeah.
Raiding whole villages, recruiting children. If they can't recruit them, they kill them. If they're too young, they kill them. if they're lucky, or they torture them and leave them, or just kill the parents and leave them to starve to death and see that brutality.
Yeah, and it's like with the black slavery too. How do you think that those black people were gotten? Their own kind turned them in.
Because the white people never went inland into Africa because they would have gotten sick with the diseases that Africans are used to. So it was only inner Africans that brought out the other ones.
It was other tribes of an opposing tribe, or it was within that. I mean, they got themselves into the mess.
So the Zanzibar Revolution, 1964, began on 12th of January, 1964. And it was supposed to be overflowing the Arab government. So I suppose they probably try to spin it that the Arabs are doing bad things to them for so long. But this right here is literally why a lot of them got chased into France, where they, that's how it happened, And so that's where you get the giant Muslim community.
Okay.
Right there. There was a couple of points in which they came and migrated on their own, but I know a lot of refugees and stuff fled here. So
all fascinating. I didn't know this.
The death toll is disputed, with estimates ranging from several hundreds to 20,000. And an estimated 10,000 people escaped from the island, many fleeing to the UK. Of course, like I said, to France as well.
Yes.
Around a quarter of all of the Arabs were killed in the massacres.
That is crazy. I mean, that is a lot.
And this is it's weird. On my other phone, I have a picture from this very same page, and I can't find it now. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, so they're talking about brutality and, being violent.
Wow.
But what about them? I mean, humans have been violent and brutal toward each other since the beginning of time.
I know. They always have.
It doesn't matter what the skin color is.
It doesn't matter the race. It doesn't matter any of it.
They're brutal.
Yes.
Like Native Americans were brutal with each other.
Yep.
The French people came in and taught them how to do scalping. So obviously they were brutal as well. Every goddamn race has been brutal. Look at the Aztecs.
We think about the different societies that have been wiped out that we don't know anything about. And it's like, well, why were they wiped out?
Yeah, exactly.
Was there something else that did it? Or
for sure with the Aztecs and the Mayans, because they had a lot of sacrifices. And they did child sacrifices and everything else.
Exactly.
Shit. But no, I guess it's only white people that have violence and brutality running through their veins, right?
Yeah. Exactly that. All right.
A sense of urgency, maybe serious defensiveness, or what about power hoarding? Those are 4 different points to look at in your life where you might be upholding white supremacy. Now, this isn't about guilt, it's about change. So pause next time you assume your way is neutral, or stay silent in racist conversations, or center your comfort over justice. Now, if you could do me a favor and tag a white friend who is willing to have the conversation, who is willing to learn and grow to become a better person.
I'm not racist. Every Martin Luther King Day, I order a cup of dark roast.
Now, everything this next lady says is completely backwards. Someone might want to send her the FBI crime statistics. Roll it.
If you're white and wondering why Black people would be okay with being separate but equal, if both sides were really equal, it's simple. Our culture enhances and brings joy to your life. Your culture does harm to ours. It actually kills us. You get it now?
Come again.
Our culture enhances and brings joy to your life.
Surely you can't be serious.
And next up, we have this fellow who identifies as a trans woman. Now, he says he was arrested for pulling a fire alarm to disrupt a meeting of a group of people he doesn't agree with. But the police over there in the UK are so cucked these days that apparently they let him go. Roll it.
Hi, I'm Sarah Savage. I'm a trans woman and I'm the leader of Trans Pride Brighton. I've just been arrested for disrupting a meeting of the notoriously hateful group Sister Salon in Jubilee Library here in Brighton. I just finished a speech of defiance to the International Day of Homophobia, Biphobia and Transphobia, and I was fired up. I was walking home past the library and something went in my head and I knew I could not let it go. So I walked into the library, I found the room where they were having their meeting of exclusion of transphobia, and I hit the fire alarm. And everybody had to leave the meeting. All of the TERFs had to file out the door while library security grabbed hold of me and pushed me around. The police were called and I was immediately arrested. Very soon after, they found out that I was staging a protest and they de-arrested me and they let me go. And I want to send a message to the anti-trans, to the transphobics, to the TERFs. I want to tell them that trans people are strong, trans people are fierce. If you wish to remove our rights, we won't let it go without a fight, without a struggle, without defiance. Trans people are fearless, trans people are strong, and we will not let this go.
Fucking balls on this egomaniac.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of one of these man on the street interviews done by this young lady. So I guess it would be a woman on the street interview that's going to take us all on a little trip to the land of make-believe. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
Simple as. If she says she's a woman, she is. Okay. I'm a woman.
So you're a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, when you tell me you're a woman, what does that mean you are?
I don't know. It's as simple as that. I feel like a woman. That's how I choose to present myself.
What feelings do you have that you relate with being a woman?
Femininity? I don't know. It's just us.
I'm gonna have LongWalker back it up a little bit, but I remember a while back I told you guys that I saw this and I had smoked cannabis, and I happened to notice this word and it kept resonating and resonating. It's on this one shirt. It says Pride Demon.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing this one too now.
Because it does say Pride Month, but because my muddled mind couldn't make sense of this, I just kept reading Pride Demon.
Yeah, I had seen that. I think you showed it to me.
I think so. I think it was on. I think it was on at that time. But
all right, we're gonna show it.
Woman.
So you're a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, when you tell me you're a woman, what does that mean you are?
I don't know. It's as simple as that. I feel like a woman. That's how I choose to present myself.
What feelings do you have that you relate with being a woman?
Femininity? I don't know. It's just that's what I'm more comfortable with.
Okay. Why?
Couldn't tell you.
But you are a woman.
Yes.
Okay. But you don't know what a woman is.
Well, I do know what a woman is. It's anyone who identifies as a woman.
Okay. Any further?
I cannot say much. I'm non-binary, so
So you're not a woman or a man?
No, I am not.
Okay, so you know you're not a woman. What is a woman that you're like, no, that's not what I am?
I just don't like being associated with like femininity or masculinity. I do not feel I fall in either of those categories at all.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
2, 10, 12, 15. Whoop, stepping on a. It's black. Anyway.
Police body cam footage came out. It showed that they actually did knock at her door.
That girl is a figure out of
We were just checking what we have left. We'll end it with this one here. We'll get through probably at least half of it. But it's a good one. It's about the statues that have been placed. No, I didn't get that going, did I?
Yeah.
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a good one. Again, that's Mike versus the world, right?
Mike versus everyone?
Everyone, yeah. He used to be Clown World. But I don't know why he changed it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. People change the names on here, and it's like they start building a brand, and then they go away from it.
I know.
It's like The Joyful Exile. That was really catchy. I like that.
I know, I did too.
And now it's just
That's Mike Stories.
And that's like really hard for me to remember.
I know.
Yeah.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on with this one and get as far as we can. Like I said, this one I've started watching, and it's got some good points. It's got some good things.
Low-income housing or something.
Is it positive to represent fat Black women?
As a fat Black woman, hell yeah. There's so many successful Black women out here. Why did you have to put LaQuisha? That representation is LaQuisha.
Or Candace Owens?
Candace Owens. That's not my answer, by the way.
You think people aren't aware of like overweight Black women in society?
Overweight women in general.
Yeah. Hey everyone, it's Savannah with Her Patriot Voice. We are out here today in Times Square in front of this very viral statue. It's been making the rounds on social media lately. This statue was literally put here just to contrast the two white male statues that are here in Times Square. One of George M. Cohan, who literally is the reason that we have Broadway. The other one is Father Duffy, who actually saved a bunch of people during the First World War. And this woman behind me, I don't think she's done anything, although she does look very familiar. If you know, you know. We're going to ask people today if they think somebody else in the Black community or in Black history would be a better fit to have a 12-foot statue of themselves in Times Square, and just get their thoughts on it. Let's go. It's a fictionalized character that the artist has constructed from images, observations, and open calls spanning between LA and London. The young woman depicted in the Grounded in the Stars carries familiar qualities from the ease of her stance to her everyday clothing. Grounded in the Stars disrupts conventional ideas around what defines a triumphant figure and challenges who should be immortalized through monuments. Very, very powerful. Wow. Did you come to Times Square to see the statue today?
No.
Alrighty. Well, what are your thoughts on it?
I think she's lovely.
Okay. Do you think that maybe we should have put somebody who's in the Black community who's contributed something to the society, or like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King?
Why? What difference does that make?
Well, what significance does this mean to you?
Well, the artist who created the series was intentionally trying to show like the mundane and like everyday Black woman. So that's what she represents, you know? I mean, she looked like me up there, so of course I don't see no problem with it.
Do you think that also like a Martin Luther King statue should be here, like somebody who's fought a lot for Black people?
I mean, we have several MLK statues throughout the country, and I'm sure MLK would not be upset at seeing a Black woman in Times Square.
Yeah. Well, one of the big reasons that this statue was put up was to contrast the two white male statues that are here in Times Square. Yeah. Do you think that that's really interesting, or like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that, I mean, I've seen a discourse around the statue, and I think people are just showing like their hand, you know? Like this country, we know what this country was built on. We know how people feel about fat Black women, like this statue represents in myself. And I think it's great to see her standing here, you know? And people are gonna be mad about it, but let them be mad, because for so long, we haven't had like our images presented in a way, like I feel that it's been seen. Even though she's getting hate, you know, it's still somebody's seeing it and being seen and feeling like they're being represented, and that's enough for me personally.
Is it positive to represent fat Black women?
As a fat Black woman, hell yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, being overweight comes with a lot of potential health issues. So, I mean, is this really like the best representation of a Black person and what they could be?
Once again, hell yeah. And if you feel that way, your fat phobia, anti-blackness is showing. Because where do you think that shit came from?
Do you think it's anti-black for people to be against this statue and fat phobic?
Absolutely. People need to get over it and move the hell on. And they need to like unpack their own bullshit, because that's what it is.
What's your thoughts on the statue here?
She's got hips, she's a big girl, and she's representative of not just the white culture. There's more to that life than just the white culture. I'm sorry.
Okay. What are your thoughts on her?
She's amazing. The minute I saw her, I wanted to read more, and we were reading the display over there, and it's saying about how between 11:57 and midnight, 95 of these billboards show images of various different people with black backgrounds for the whole 3 minutes. I think that's amazing.
Okay. Do you think that black people are not treated very well in this country?
There are times. There are times, and there's no need for it, no reason.
Do you think that she's the best representation of the black community? Like, do you think maybe we should have put somebody who actually contributed something to society, like Martin Luther King or?
No, because I think there's more of her out here than, okay, there's Martin Luther King, there's Coretta Scott, there's everybody like that, but she's more of the everyday person. Yeah, she's more of the everyday person. And she could be white, black, gray, or anything. Because, I mean, hello, here you go.
Okay, you're up.
I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for saying this, but, I mean, if anybody ever hears it anyway.
I know.
But what I would think would be a more ideal statue set would be if they used, like, their grandmothers, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Or, yeah, pretty much their grandmothers, you know, because that was, like, end of slavery, beginning of freedom rights, you know,
stepping up.
And there was a lot of people that lived everyday normal lives, but, like, you know, not as old ladies, but as they looked then, you know, with the style and everything too, because that was also representative of pure Americana, you know, everything about it. And sorry, but it was their generation that did a bunch for building up the black community, rather than people of this generation or the one before it. You know, it's
very true.
Their grandmothers and maybe their great grandmothers that actually did something. Now they're just Karens.
Yeah, I mean, like you said,
what have they done?
There's a lot of people that deserve to be on their statues, and they're black, and they would be just as heroic being on their statues.
Yeah, and like I said, if it has to be a regular, everyday person, why not go back and honor your actual ancestors that helped build America?
Yes.
Instead of just, like, you know, living off Section 8 and, you know.
That's going to be the next one.
Yeah, right.
Section 8 woman.
It's like, I don't know. Or it just is not becoming. It's not a good statue.
No, and what gets me the most on this statue is the weight.
Yes.
Because like I said, you might as well have had a statue that has McDonald's on it.
Right.
Because that's what it's showing. It's showing exactly what you eat. It's showing exactly what you do.
I mean, I guess you're right. It does represent most of America in that way, because most of America, that is like the ideal body type for Americans now. So I guess that they got that right. But as far as showing like an air of perseverance, and it's just I'm not getting it from that. It's just not a good piece of art.
It's not. No, and it's like I said. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and
it shows exactly what our world has done.
It's not the only one that they've had in Times Square that's been a crap piece of art. Right after 9/11, they had one with a lady that was like naked and rolling on the ground because it was supposed to be representative of like the people that jumped out of the.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but they went.
Why were they naked?
And exactly. Well, it was supposed to represent, you know, being stripped of everything, you know. And it was like, I remember them trying to explain it and everything, but it was like, it's just ugly. It's just ugly ass statue.
Okay, but for the average person, if you're having to explain it to a couple of people, I guarantee you they don't understand it.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be seen the way that you think.
Perhaps that I don't understand high art or something, you know, but it's like that's not what this is supposed to be for. It's supposed to be for the average American
everyday person.
Yeah, and it's like that one was ugly. This one is ugly.
Yes.
I'm not saying that like the person that they're portraying is ugly, but it is an ugly piece of art. I don't know.
That's exactly right, though.
I don't know. It's like it's frumpy. It's just like I wouldn't want to be like having my people represented that way. That's Like, crap.
I know.
I don't know. I don't like it, but it's just my opinion. But I just don't think it represents them.
I don't
and
either.
Their culture very well at all.
No, I'm right with you with it. I don't think that it does either.
That's a shame.
Oh, built just like her, you know, don't have the same skin color, but I am probably just like her.
So you would be just excited if if a white woman was out here?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because there's not enough of the black representation here. Yeah.
So one of the big reasons that this statue was put out here was to contrast the two male statues that are out here, the two white male statues.
There's a need for her to be here also.
Yes.
Because she plays an important role in our society, and society needs to become more accepting. And that's a great way to do it, to have people read about it, have people feel like they're part of.
Okay, what is she contributing to society?
An awareness. An awareness of what else is around and who else is present. And you need that. You definitely need that, because there's not enough of it.
You think people aren't aware of like overweight black women in society?
Overweight women in general,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That are trying to be seen in society. And not for nothing, when you get older, and I don't know if it's in the black community as well as the white community, the older you get, the less you're seen.
She looks like an everyday woman that you see in the street. I'm actually okay with this.
All right.
I'm all right with that.
Awesome. What do you think is the importance of having this statue out here?
The importance of having this out here. I guess, let's see, to normalize different body shapes. We have ones that are very model-esque. This one's just every day. Just every day. You find somebody just walking around here just like that. So
okay.
I like to see that variation.
Do you think we should be normalizing people being overweight?
Oh, normalizing people being overweight. I see what you did there. That's kind of controversial. I don't know about normalizing overweight. I don't think that she's overweight per se, but I just think she's regular, and I think she's beautiful for that.
Do you think that maybe it would have been a little bit more impactful to put a black person that maybe contributed something like to society, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, somebody like that?
I'm never against that. However, we have our history from there. Let's modernize, people that are living here and now. We'll always have Martin Luther King. We'll always have Rosa Parks and other figures like that. So yeah, I'm good for this either way.
One of the big reasons that she was put here in Times Square was to contrast the two white male statues that were here previously. So George M. Cohan over there, the reason that we have Broadway and all of this, and then Father Duffy, who helped save a lot of people during the First World War.
Gotcha. So there's a contrast. However, that was then, this is now. It's still a matter of what's modern right now and what is, let's see, more to the societal norms of right now. I'll keep it at that.
Last question. Do you think that there's anybody else, any other black person we should put in Times Square to represent the community?
To represent the community.
Here, I'll give you multiple choice. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, or George Floyd, or Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. That's not my answer, by the way.
Not Candace Owens?
No. I'm not going to say Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is cool, but no. George Floyd, we had one. It's been vandalized multiple times. Shouts out to those people who are doing that. Assholes.
Just for funsies, out of those four, who would you choose? You said no to Candace Owens.
No, I would say Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. Wow.
When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Shouts out to Jasmine Crockett. I would say her.
And what do you like about her?
She's very outspoken. Some people call her sassy, but she's not. She's just speaking from the heart. She's speaking from the mind. And she's very truthful. A lot of people do not like that. So I would say more power to her and keep doing what she's doing.
Recently, she was asked how the Democrats should regain momentum after their loss in November. And she said the Democrats should learn how to punch people. Do you think that's a good way to do that?
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. And I love Colin. And I think towards the end, he started to punch a little harder. But it's Ted Cruz. I mean, this dude has to be knocked over the head. like hard.
Punching people, I don't know that quote or where it comes from there. However, I'm sure it's not in a physical sense. Probably more of vocabulary sense. In terms of talking, in terms of making statements, that aren't physical.
So who would you like to put here?
I'm not sure. I would have to look into that.
Cardi B?
But
Megan Thee Stallion? George Floyd? Maybe. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Your beautiful eyes. Have a great day.
You too. I like your hair.
Thank you.
Why is this representation? This is a bad representation for black women.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually horrible.
Okay. And why do you think that?
Because there's so many successful black women out here. Why did you have to put LaQuisha? That representation is LaQuisha. The box braids.
I love you.
On the hip. That's attitude. That's a bad representation. Why couldn't you put Michelle Obama? Why couldn't you put Sister Soldier? It's so many successful black women. Beautiful. You had to go dig up LaQuisha. That's a slap in the face.
You're the first person who has a different opinion about it.
Yeah, I do. I couldn't wait to get here to see it. People taking pictures. The young lady took a picture between the legs. They're making a mockery of us. They're making a fool of us. Hurry up and take this down and come with the next project, because that's not nice right there.
I actually agree with you.
So that's the first one that actually said something useful as far as the statue goes.
They just don't want to be. They don't want to go against their own. They don't want to be divided on that and everything. But dude, speak your mind.
Yeah, and know what you're saying it too.
Yeah.
Because this statue does not help anybody. Like I said, if you have to give this one a headline, it would be Section 8 woman.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly. Like I was saying, what is that particular demographic representing? I understand out here we have a big Hispanic culture, and I can see them doing that, somebody looking like a migrant worker, hat, clothes, rough hands. I can totally see that, because that represents what they do to contribute to the fabric of America.
Exactly.
What the hell does that contribute? I see
Nothing.
that, and I see it's either a landlord or a McDonald's worker, or maybe I'm gonna get shit on, but like a maid or something. It's I mean, those I guess are kind of. Not the McDonald's worker, but maybe a maid is kind of an important job. But it's not really representing what Black communities bring to the table.
No, it's not at all.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
I know.
Don't like it at all.
That's flat out what it is, and it's ridiculous. I
really wish that it would have, like I said, at least been their grandmothers or something.
That was the best. That was the best one. I agree with that,
because they really did make a big contribution to what we have today.
Yes.
Like I said, it's really unfortunate, but I can't really think of anything else right now. I can't, and it's sad. That's really sad. But it's when you listen to the right, it's always, well, these are the people that are sucking resources. These are the people that are being a dredge on society. That's the image that you get with those headlines. And
it is.
And then they make a statue out of it.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't think it was a good play.
No, I don't either. I can't take it.
Hit and miss,
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It really is. There's so much more that could have been done for this one.
Yep.
So just for funsies, multiple choice question. If we were to replace this person with another influential Black person, I'm going to give you 4 options. So the first is Cardi B.
No. Hell no.
Megan Thee Stallion.
No.
Candace Owens.
Maybe.
Or George Floyd.
Put George back. They took him away from everywhere else.
So you like George Floyd?
Yeah, put him back.
Okay.
Yeah. Make him big as daylight, standing in the middle of Times Square, so we can never forget that.
Okay.
And
What do you like about George Floyd?
Be a project that they're gonna rip up next week. Put him in stone like the 2 white soldiers here.
Okay. Yeah. So speaking of the two white soldiers, so George M. Cohan over here, he's the reason that we have all this. We have Broadway, so that's why he has a statue here. He basically started Broadway. Yeah. And then over here we have Father Duffy, who helped save a lot of people during the First World War. So that's why they have statues here. Do you think they should stay here?
They could. It really doesn't matter because
I know that I can't be seen, but I can probably be heard. Another thing that they could do would be to use jazz players, represent, because Louis Armstrong or something. Yeah, because she was talking about this one guy. He created Broadway and everything, and that's why he's here. It's like, okay, well, I know that like the jazz culture is like huge in New York, just like it is in New Orleans, and so I think like a jazz player would be more fitting than this. So, I totally agree. That's awesome choice. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not getting it.
because they could be the reason we have all this, but who did they step on to get this?
Tell me.
Who did they step on to get this? The people that was already here. Like, they
just like on stolen land.
Recognition for it. I'm pretty sure they're not the one that came and built this. This land was here, built by our people. They just maybe got the first chance to step on them and take over. That's what happened.
So like black people built Times Square?
No, don't necessarily have to be black, but people of color did so much work, and they never recognized for it. They always stepped on and taken advantage of. So I'm pretty sure these two didn't do it.
If you guys like my videos and you want to keep me coming out here, donate to me at givesendgo.com/Savannah Craven. Help me hire security so that I don't get punched in the face. Thanks. When looking at this statue, what does it mean to you?
Honestly, I've seen a lot of backlash about it on TikTok and stuff, but I like it. I feel like it's a representation for another side of the Black community, and it actually represents a lot of Black women out there. So I don't understand the backlash.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the statue.
All right. Yeah, so one of the big reasons that she was put here in Times Square was to contrast the two white male statues that were already here in Times Square. Right over here, he helped save a lot of people during the First World War. And then George M. Cohan, who's actually the reason that we have all this Broadway. So do you think that maybe we should have put somebody who contributed something to society, like maybe Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks?
I could see where you.
I mean, I think that the biggest upset that people have is exactly that. This person was trying to go and say, okay, yeah, but see, this is your main person. This is what the main person looks like, which was not the best option to do.
No, I mean, it has to be something that somebody has contributed. And I know that those, like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, that's like really played out now.
Yes.
And there's a lot of monuments to that. But what about like the menial people that have made smaller contributions?
Yeah, exactly.
George Washington Carver, who like invented peanut butter and stuff like that. Things that actually made up the fabric of America.
That's a very good point.
Like I said, this doesn't really represent anything outstanding.
No, it doesn't.
Like I said, you don't. Nobody's gonna look at that and be like, "Oh my God, that's admirable. I want to be that." It's like I don't know. I get it. You're still standing. You're still here. That represents all of the single working mothers out there and everything. But that isn't particularly contributing to the growth of America.
No, that's actually hurting it, because if that's the way we're going with it, is, oh look, I'm the single mother and I'm standing. It's like, that's what we want to avoid. That's what we want to not have.
Because it's painful.
And they're trying to put that out there that, hey, look, I can do it. This is what it looks like. This is me. When you should not have that.
You should be a little bit more humble about it.
A marriage is sacred, and a marriage needs to be taken more carefully.
Right. You know, and unfortunately, that is really prominent in their community is, you know, fatherlessness and,
Yes, it
and
is.
single mothers because they had to work
Yes.
a lot, you know, because there's a lot of division, and I understand that. I don't know. Like I said, it just doesn't hit for me.
No, it doesn't for me either.
You would say that to add somebody that also contributed. Maybe like somebody like look for somebody newer though, because Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr. We hear about them a lot, and they did a lot for the community. But I feel like I'd be open to learning more different public figures.
Okay.
They just took the recognition.
Yeah. So back to George Floyd. What did he do in his life that earns him a statue in Times Square?
He took our stripes. Didn't the police kill him? He took our stripes. If it wasn't George Floyd, it would be me. It would be him. It might even be you or him. He's a person of color.
I read the autopsy report, and he actually was dying of a fentanyl overdose. Did you know about that?
No, I never heard that. But what I did see is him begging with his last breath for his mother, for this man to get off of his neck. If you're going to arrest me, just arrest me. Don't kill me. I did see that part. He took our stripes. Something like Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, he also held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach once, which wasn't that great.
Was it the day he died?
No, it wasn't the day he died. No.
No, they killed him for selling. What was he doing?
He was screaming, "I can't breathe."
Okay, that woman asked, was it that day? Like, that's actually supposed to matter. Like, that's supposed to make a difference for what this guy actually did.
I'm no blue line supporter.
No, and I'm not behind what the cops did there. That was an exertion of force, no matter how you want to look at it.
But it's like I don't think that he would deserve to be glorified in such a way.
Exactly, he's not. And I mean, there's too many cops out there that'll get away with stuff, that'll push too hard, and that needs to stop. Yeah. But at the same time, you don't need to glorify somebody else that doesn't deserve it.
Modern black women that have made some contributions.
All right. So, do you have any names?
That's, of course, Kamala Harris, Cori Bush, Stacey Abrams. These are all kind of like politicians, lawyers, voting activists, congressmen. Okay, science and technology. Well, that's not really good. Kizmika Corbett, lead scientist on the team that developed the Modular COVID-19, but they're being sued.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Mae Jemison, first African American woman to travel to space.
There you go.
Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan, trailblazing mathematicians who played a vital role in NASA's early space missions.
Another good one.
Valerie Thomas, scientist and inventor, patented the illusion transmitter. I didn't know these people.
No.
Of course, in arts and culture, you have Oprah, Beyonce. No. Let's see, what else we got here?
I mean, you wouldn't want to put somebody really famous. You don't want to go that route. Exactly. You want to go somebody that most people don't know, but they should.
Yeah, like this one, Amanda Gorman, youngest inaugural poet in U.S. history, known for her powerful, inspiring poetry.
See, there you go. I mean, we just pulled up 3 straight up that would make perfect examples to be put there.
The sports, you know, Serena Williams.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, Coco Gao. You know, there's plenty of people they could have. And
yes.
None of them look like them.
No. Yeah. Especially Serena and her sister. I mean, you know, they're very fit.
Very, very fit, yeah.
I mean, they would have been the perfect ones to put there, honestly. You know, in one of their tennis poses, you know, I mean.
Strong, you know.
Exactly.
And especially since this is something that they're popping up all over the world, they could have done a whole bunch of different ones, you know, and brought like some attention to the accomplishments of these lesser known people that have actually made a difference in modern days. But they wanted to go the route of, like you said, Section 8 women, you know.
Yeah.
I hate it, but it is what it is.
For sure it is. I mean, that's ridiculous. It should have to go through a lot more than that. All right, let's see where we are right now because we're already at time. I think we're about where we need to be anyway. We're at, 15:23 already. So we'll just go ahead and call it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, is that good for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. Always, if you like my work, like, subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, I always love hearing from people that are watching. So if you watch this even later, leave a comment. Let me know. Do you not think the same as us? Do you think how it is? So just let us know. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again.